Hey guys, what's up? It's Jen. So today we're gonna pretend like I'm still in Korea because the initial plan for this video was to record little tidbits of information as I'm cafe hopping. I thought it would be cool to have like different backgrounds and stuff as I was telling you the information. But all the footage was just a little
Okay guys, so while I'm sat here, there's also like some people here, so they're kind of like talking over there. Oh my god, I didn't bring a portable battery. Fuck dude, I'm gonna have to go home. I'm at 22% and I did not bring a portable battery. How do you find these cup holder events? Like I said, of course there's freaking construction going on too, my goodness. Whoa, what? No way. But over, so there's nothing like decorated or anything?
Yeah, so for the most part, you'll be hearing from post-Korea depression Jen. And then I'll still use some of the salvageable clips from when I was in Korea at a cafe recording this exact video. The cafe that I'm at right now is a little noisy, but I have a microphone, so hopefully it made the audio a little bit better. But I mean, it's the vibe, you know? So today's video topic is cup holder events in Korea. I'm gonna kind of go over what exactly they are, how to find out about them, and give some tips for when you are actually going to embark on your cup holder tour in Korea. Let's get started. Typically, the centerpiece of these events is the cup holder, which the fan site will design using photos that they've taken from concerts, fan signs, any kind of lucky encounter, or they'll use like publicly released photos from the entertainment company. The fan site will then partner with a cafe, and you'll often notice that different fan sites like to book the same cafes. So there are certain cafes in Korea that are like notable for holding these kind of cup holder events. But they'll go and decorate the cafe with posters, photos, official and self-made merch, balloons, literally just turn the entire cafe into an art exhibition for that artist. These events usually last around a week surrounding the actual day of the anniversary or the birthday. However, if you are lucky, sometimes it'll be for the entire month surrounding it. And although the actual event might be over a certain time period, the cup holders are still first come, first serve, so I definitely advise you to go towards the beginning of the event just in case they run out. Now, how to find out about these cup holder events? Since this kind of fan culture resides mainly in Twitter, I suggest getting a Twitter because that's where you are going to find all of the information about these things. Some people might post information elsewhere, but Twitter is definitely going to be your best option.
I don't really like Twitter because a lot of fan wars and drama, but in terms of keeping up with news, I'm just like, a lot of times these fan sites that do the cup holder events, they're either from China, which they have so much money, like they do so much of the fan projects here, or just Korea. Sometimes it's like a group of fan projects together. But basically, if you're looking on Twitter, you're not really gonna find anything in English. So it's good to know Hangul if anything.
And don't worry, it's super easy. You could probably learn it in like a day if you really tried. She says yeah. The main words relevant to these events are usually English words just written in Hangul. So like cup holder, event, cafe. So if you can at least spot what that word looks like in Hangul, then you're already halfway there. So for example, during J-Hope's birthday, I literally went on Twitter and I searched the hashtag Happy J-Hope Day like in English because that's a pretty like easy thing for them to write out. Or in Hangul J-Hope 생일, which is birthday if you didn't know. Or I guess an easier way is just to like look up a J-Hope fan site like that's based in Korea. After searching, you're gonna get a bunch of tweets, and this is when you're gonna start looking for those keywords in Hangul.
I will go on Twitter into my search for a birthday person. I'll just try typing like happy member's name. I mean, that's kind of like a general thing, so it's kind of hard. Pangham cup holder event, or just find a really big fan site. Literally search J-Hope or like J-Hope fan site, just something like that, and something will come up. So for this one, it's the 6th anniversary, so I just literally typed in, I didn't even need to type in Pangham because they're the only group like during this time that has like a 6-year anniversary that's like relevant. So I literally went on Twitter, I typed in 6th Junyoung, which is anniversary, cup holder event. I'm finding some more. Okay, so now that you have it typed into the search right there, you just get a bunch of stuff and you see a bunch of pictures of different cafes, right? Basically, when you go to these cafes, it's obviously held by the fan site, but a lot of times when people go to visit, they'll just take pictures and they'll tag the fan site, use the designated hashtag, all that stuff. Actually, it is a good idea to be able to read Hangul just in case somebody lists what the specific cafe that they went to is, and then you can go to that cafe. For example, this was the first one that I saw, so I'm gonna click on it and then you can see like a picture of the event. Sometimes like if it's not the person who's holding it, they'll have like the tags of the accounts that are holding it. So this one I don't see any tags, so I'm just gonna go to their profile. And then normally if the event is still going on, it will be in their pinned tweet. So if I scroll, I can see that their pinned tweet is actually the Cupholder event. This is what it looks like. It just has all of the event details, and then it has 2 pictures. The first picture is usually a picture of what the Cupholder will look like, and then it'll have any other extra gifts that they give, like for example photo cards or stickers or a fan or whatever it may be. If you go to the next picture, it'll have the address details, so it'll tell you where. Unfortunately, this one I can see right now, right there, it says that it's in Busan, so this one isn't relevant to me, but basically speaking, this one says Busan, some of them will say Seoul, and then it'll say like the cafe name right there, and then like the specific address, and then like the times that it's going for, and just any more like event details, I guess.
And if I have time, then I'll usually go back and forth from Twitter and my Kakao Maps app and star the specific locations of the cafes in my Maps app. I like to use Kakao Maps because I find it to be the most accurate in terms of finding these little locations like indie coffee shops and whatnot. Most of the time, just searching the name of the cafe in Kakao Maps should be enough, but if not, the original post normally has the specific address or like whatever subway station that it's near. However, Kakao Maps is like 99% in Korean. Even the cafe names that are like written in English, when you go to the actual cafe, you're probably gonna have to look it up in Hangul. But generally speaking, the app isn't too difficult to navigate if you do know Hangul, so again, I strongly recommend at least learning how to read Hangul. I've been told that Naver Maps is a little more like English friendly. However, since I use Kakao Maps, I'm not sure how accurate Naver Maps is in terms of getting the locations right. But I mean, if you want to try Naver Maps, then go for it. Naver Maps and Kakao Maps are like the most popular, so it shouldn't be too different.
Nobody in Korea really uses Google, so it's not going to be as accurate with like where addresses go. My camera roll, as you can see, is just a bunch of different cafe events because I didn't have time to put the actual addresses in my maps this morning. So basically, after you put all of your events in your maps, what you'll have is a map with a bunch of different spots on them, and I like to color code them, so I'll have one color as just all of the cafes, and then once I keep going to them, then I will change the color from one color to another. So my general cafe spots, they were all in pink, and then once I visited a cafe already, then I changed it to purple so that I can still keep it in my map and I can go back for future reference, or I can just see like all the different ones that I went to. And then a lot of times these cafes are just very aesthetic and fun to go to if you're just meeting with friends. So I just like to keep them in case like I'm in the area with some of my friends and we're bored and want to go to a cafe.
Alright, so now that your prep is done, it's time to get going. If you're going to be collecting a bunch of cup holders in one trip, then I strongly recommend bringing an empty shopping tote like this. I've realized that I've mentioned reusing shopping totes in Korea in so many videos, but literally you guys, like, recycle. It's good for everyone, and these paper bags fold up flat, so when you don't need it, you can just keep it in your like eco bag until you're ready to put your cup holders in. And then when you're ready to use it, I like how these bags keep their shape so that it kind of like protects your cup holders from smushing.
Once you get your cup, take it off because you don't want the condensation from the cup to ruin your cup holders. Once you start like going to more than one cafe, you can start stacking them up, and that will actually help hold the structure if you stack them. And then inside, you can just have them stacked up like that and it won't get squished like in your tote bag.
Now for some extra things, I'm not sure if I would necessarily call them tips, so I'll just say some random little tidbits that I've learned from going to so many of these events. If you visit the cafe during the event period, which is what they call the kigan, which literally means period in Korean, make sure that you keep your receipts or ask for your receipt when you pay for the drink, because oftentimes they'll print really cute things about like the artist on the receipt. Also, if you visit the cafe during that allotted time period, they will only play the music from that artist.
Here is my receipt. At the bottom, it says BTS 6th anniversary, and here, these are just like a bunch of BTS hashtags. It says 우리 아이돌 6살 됐네, which means like our idols have turned 6 years old today. Then it says 아미의 6월은 너희로 가득해 처음 감동 6주년 BTS. My Korean's not good, okay?
So it's really just a super fun art exhibition where you can go and support the fan site, show your love for the artist, support the cafe, and just enjoy a yummy drink. Alright, so I've never done this personally, but I know friends who have. But if you go on the very last day of the event period, maybe like within the last few hours of the cafe being open, there's a possibility that you could actually run into the fan site managers taking down some of the decorations and posters and stuff. A lot of times for these events, they'll actually print out posters and pictures just for the event. So when the event's over, they'll normally throw them away or have some kind of giveaway on Twitter. But if you catch the fan managers in person, then you can always just ask them to take it. They should say yes, but if they don't, then it's usually because they're having some kind of giveaway event on Twitter for people who visited the cafe and post pictures using a specific hashtag or just like tag the fan site. If this kind of like giveaway is happening, then you can usually find a little sign somewhere in the cafe that has all the details. So sometimes it's like extra posters, photo cards, or sometimes just like a special gift of like that fan site made merch. And if you aren't able to attend the event during the given time and still want a cup holder, then fear not, because you might still have the chance to get one. Especially if it's a bigger group, usually cafes will keep a few cup holders after the event. So if you go roughly like a week after the given event period, you should still be able to get one. If I try and get a cup holder after the event period, I'll go to the cafe and kind of look around their like barista area and see if I see any cup holders. If not, then I'll just ask. And in that way, you can just ask, 혹시 컵홀더 아직 있어요? 혹시 컵홀더 아직 있어요? Alright guys, so that's pretty much all I have to say and give tips on about these super fun events. If you have any other questions regarding these events, then feel free to leave a comment and I will try and answer it as best as I can. I think cup holder events are like a super fun, unique, limited edition way to show love for a certain group. And trust me, once you start going to a few and collecting these things, it gets very addicting. And next thing you know, you're going to be shipping 38 cup holders home from Korea. For the longest time, unfortunately, these events were only in Korea. But these days, I'm noticing that fan sites are actually expanding more globally. So for example, I know some people in New York on Twitter who recently held one, and it went pretty successfully. And depending on when this video comes out, Jungkook's birthday is coming up, and so is RM's. But I know there's like this huge fan site on Twitter. They're having cup holder events in multiple countries, and in the US, they're having one in LA, New York, and my city, Atlanta. So I will be kind of scoping that out and seeing how it goes, because when I was in Korea, I actually was planning on having a cup holder event in September for combined JK and RM's birthday. But because these events require a lot of planning and like knowing the statistics of a certain area, I wanted to kind of hold off. So if you are going to be in the Atlanta area attending some of these Jungkook cup holder events, then definitely go, and I might be there. And for any like US Army community accounts that are interested in hosting some of these events like in the Atlanta area, or depending on like if I decide to travel like New York or LA or something, then I would love to like collaborate with you guys and host an event together so that we can bring this experience to people outside of Korea. Anyway guys, I hope this video was informative and not too loud. I kind of like this like more public environment, but I do know it's a little bit noisy. Like always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye! Yay!